Buddy, hey, going live here. So excited about this. I actually got reached out to a buddy of mine, Michael Sargent. Michael Sargent actually came over. I met his dad some time ago. He was a local lender in the area, and he's like, I got this son. I says, you got a son? That's good. He says, yeah, I got this son. He's like 19, and he loves real estate. He wants to get into real estate, and I would like him to come over here and actually meet y'all to see if you would take him on as an intern and actually work with him a little bit. So we brought him in, did a killer internship with us, and we knew we were going to lose Michael because Michael is one of those educated people who's going to college, getting educated, right? And but it's cool because Michael and I have stayed in touch. He ended up getting his real estate license. For those of you that got your license after your second, third, or fourth try, let me just tell you, Michael's awesome. He got it done in his first, so he's better than you. And and it was just really cool that he reached out to me recently. He is actually still in our brokerage, even though you're living up in the LA area, right, Michael?
Orange County, North Orange County.
North Orange County, close enough. It's all the same. After we leave Riverside, it's all LA as far as I'm concerned. So you hit Fresno, then it's just like, eh. But Michael is in college, and he hit me up and he says, hey man, I got this college thing that I got to do, and I need to interview somebody that's an entrepreneur. So I said yes. So here we are getting ready to do this interview. I figured I'd run it live on the Real Estate Blitz, and I think I shared it to a couple other places. And yeah, man. So tell us what's going on, Michael, because I don't know what the hell's going on. So tell us what's going on and what this interview is about. So maybe I can help you out, and hopefully people can be entertained while they're watching it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is well. First off, my name is Michael. This is Gianfranco.
Hi, nice to meet you guys.
This is Kelsey. Unfortunately, the camera doesn't really fit everything, but it's pretty far back. But we're gonna make it work. So what's happening is this is for a business administration class. It's about communication, and there's questions about marketing, and a lot of real estate is how you market right. So and as an entrepreneur, there's a lot that goes on with that. So we got some questions that we wanna ask you. As someone who's experienced and in the business. So you want to jump into it?
Yeah, man, let's go. Let's cook. It'll be fun.
All right. So Gianfranco, why don't you start us off with the first question?
Yeah. All right. So the first question for you, Kris, is going to be, what business activities are important to the success of your company?
What business activities are important to the success of our company? What's funny is that could be an extremely complicated answer, and I'll try to keep it simple as best as I can, because I think, and I just got out of, I was doing some training with some of the agents, literally right before I jumped on with y'all, and I'm trying to impress on them that when I look at business in general, and each agent is trying to create their own business, I look at it just like a wheel. When you jump on your bicycle, you got a wheel. The wheel's supposed to be round. The wheel's supposed to move smooth. And unfortunately, a lot of businesses, they're focused. Now, the wheel's held together by spokes, correct? Everybody knows that. So there's spokes. The spokes go to a central hub. And the hub is the person. The spokes are supposed to be the different channels that they're utilizing in order to create business, right? Or past business, new clients, old clients, customer satisfaction, etc. Now, what a lot of businesses will do is they're focused on one or two spokes, but the reality is if you're only focused on two and the rest of them are like not getting attention, your bicycle is like running like this, you know what I mean? And you got a messed up, jacked up bicycle. So it's always a balance. Drew says he's waving at you there, guys.
Hey, Drew.
Hey, Drew. So, to me, it's a mix of things. And you can make it as simple as possible or as complicated possible. And unfortunately, certain things are going to take priorities over others. Example, I've heard, I had an agent come in the other day and it says, customer satisfaction. We're all about this. I says, you don't even have no damn customers. Why don't you focus on getting customers first? And then you can figure customer satisfaction out. If you think that just making people happy, but you don't have any people, then you're wasting your time. So what's important to me overall in our business? Every business, you have to get clients. You have to get clients. How do you get clients? Well, to me, marketing is huge. I think brand awareness and brand is huge. If you don't have those two things or those three things, eventually you're going to die. Now, I know there's some businesses where they don't need that, but, and especially these are the best ones. And it's usually the small mom and pop businesses. Well, we believe in just word of mouth. Really? All right. Oh, here we go. What's up, Trevor? Good to see you, man, out there in Minnesota doing great things. You know, my thing is, at the end of the day, the very first things first, I think if you're looking at it, what's important to the business is you got to get clients. You don't make money unless you have other people. And I think a lot of people are offended by that idea. We are in a capitalist nation, and even if you're in a communist nation, somebody's trying to make money, and the only way you can get money is to get money from somebody else, period. That's the truth. You know, and what I've learned is, you know, money is an idea that was created by a human being, and it's printed off by machines. All we got to do is figure out how to get that money from those machines to our pockets. So what's important to me, first off, is creating clients. Once I get clients, what's important to me is keeping clients and actually getting them to tell everybody how amazing and how great we are. So they'll give us even more clients, because at the end of the day, that's money. It's all money. So first off, you need to sit down and create, what is your image? Who are you? I think the reason why a lot of people like working with us is because we are not the typical real estate business. We are just who we are. Be who you are. Create a brand and image around that. Create an avatar around that. Second, you need to find a way to expose. Attention is king. Period. Attention is king. If you are not exposing yourself, and I'm not saying proper exposing. Don't get me wrong. I know you guys are in college. You're into that. But I'm saying actually you have to get attention. Attention is king. You got to be everywhere. When you talk to somebody, say, I see you everywhere. Of course you do. And then you have to find a way to, after you've created that pipeline, you have to find a way to convert that pipeline, which you saw earlier before we got on. I have a staff here. That's all they do is convert people for me. And then I have to find a way to fulfill their desire, whatever that need is. I prefer needs. I don't like desires, but desire is a business too, but fulfill their needs. And after I fulfill their needs, I need to find a way to get repeat referrals or repeat clients. So does that answer your question there, John Franco? Oh, looks like we blocked out for a second. Still there?
Yeah,
there we are. Yeah, let me kill some stuff here. I got a whole bunch of other programs running in the background. All right, so does that answer your question?
Yeah, that answered it perfectly, actually. You actually kind of touched into the second question that we're going to ask you right now.
Okay.
So it's how important is marketing to your company, and why? You kind of touched into that, how you kind of need to get people to get you business and traction. So anything else you can add on to that? You kind of touched it, but not really deeply.
So in today's marketplace, in my opinion, and I'm just some guy, in my opinion, in today's marketplace, I don't even concern. So marketing is almost like a byproduct now for me. It's really about attention. Are you on social media? Are you on YouTube? Are you on this? Are you on that? Are you creating an image? Are you creating a product that people need? If they don't need it, are you creating a problem and then providing the solution? You know, and I could get deeper into that, but that's probably a topic for another. But at the end of it, all of it includes marketing. All of it. You have to be marketing. If you are not gaining attention, if you're not exposing yourself, if you're not putting yourself out there, if you're not trying to gain new clients, your business inevitably will die. In today's marketplace, there used to be a time when, you know, there's 2 stoplights in the town and word of mouth was good enough. But, you know, pretty much any business now that you can create, especially when I look at some of the young entrepreneurs that are out there with startups and stuff like that, you can literally take something that is an idea and turn it into a nationwide business pretty damn quickly, and it's extremely profitable if done appropriate. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, yeah.
Follow-up question for that is, what marketing activities do you usually do to kind of associate business and press it forward?
Yeah. What are your top 3 most successful marketing ventures?
Okay, so I talked to a lady out of Florida today, Kimmy. She'll probably end up watching this on the Real Estate Blitz later. I talked to Kimmy. She gave me a call. I spoke with her about 4 weeks ago, and literally within 4 weeks after talking with me, she literally is the #1 agent in the office, because I just told her very specific things to me that I thought she was doing wrong, and she's killing it now. And we started talking about the same thing. She asked me a very similar question. So I'm going to answer your question absolutely not the way that you want to hear it. I think what you want to hear are 3 specific things that people should be doing, or I'm specifically doing. And I don't think that's fair. I think you end up only getting a very small, looks like you guys cut out, and I know I'm working on high internet speeds here. You guys still there? Oh boy. That can't be good. Let me see if I can figure out what happened here. Oh, my internet's hot, man. I'm on 5G. Hold on. If you guys can hear me, I'm on 5G over here, so I know I'm cooking. Your internet might not be rocking. Put it in the real estate blitz. Yep. Awesome. Oh, okay. So I'm still on. So let me see if they go ahead and come back on here in a second. And they should. It looks like they might have lost their internet connection. And we'll just keep going live. So I'm going to go ahead and start answering that question that they had asked me a second ago. And I'm going to go ahead and text old boy right now too. So here's my view. What I told when I was talking to Kimmy earlier, what I had told her was, you know, it's a matter of trying to figure out who is your ideal client. Like everybody's going to be in a different type of a business. Everybody's trying to accomplish something different. They're doing something different. And first off, you got to figure out who your ideal client is. Let me call this guy. I feel really bad that they fell off on internet. Oh, excuse me. Let's pull him up. And we'll just keep rolling live and see what comes of it.
Hey, man.
Hey, so I got you live. I'm still running on here live.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm on 5G, so I'll tell you what. If your internet is down, do me a favor. You can actually call in on this link on your phone, and you could FaceTime on your phone, man,
Okay.
to this link. So go ahead and try to do that, all right? I'm going to hang up.
All right.
All right, bye.
All right. Okay, bye.
But anyways, so I think it's going to kind of blow their mind because I think what they were looking for is 3 specific things that we do. And here's the thing, in every market, we're doing something a little bit different. So I could say in one market, we're actually on and using the newspaper, but the reality is that's because there's a specific kind of a client that we're trying to target and actually connect with out in that area. And it looks like Drew put up some stuff here. Drew, I'll hit you up here in a second, Drew. But that's what I'm going to kind of explain to them is that it isn't just a blanket statement. So hopefully when they get on now, I will say there's certain things blanket that you should absolutely be doing. Right now in today's economy, you absolutely should be on Facebook. I don't think that's an option. I think every business needs to be on Facebook. It doesn't matter what your business is. You got to be on Facebook. I think the second place is you need to find a way to engage. If you're doing it offline, you need to find a way to engage with your ideal or your avatar, your target client. You need to find a way to engage the way that they want to consume. So if it's an older community and they all look at the paper, but they aren't online, guess what? You need to be in the paper. If it's a younger community and they're all online, you need to be online. And it's especially with lead capture systems. I think if it's a diverse community, let's say it's wealthier people, especially. Well, where are the wealthy people going? I love community events. I like being out there. Here they go. Looks like they're going to be popping back on. There they are. So I was actually answering your question for whoever. I don't even know. There's only like 5 people watching. So, but at least I didn't end the broadcast. So that way you guys will still have this recording. All right. So let's talk about your answer. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let's talk about your answer. So the 3 things. This is what I would say. I was talking to an agent out in Florida today. Her name's Kimmy, and she's wonderful. And she listens, and she's really engaged. And I told Kimmy, I says, look, she says, I got this idea. I'm going to pay all this money. I'm going to start this training. I'm going to get the certification, and I'm going to start working with this type of client. I says, fantastic. Great, Kimmy. Good for you. How many deals, out of all the deals that you're doing right now, how many deals came from that client base? She said, none. I says, then why are you doing it? Are you looking to expand into that marketplace? Is there a client base out there? She says, well, I don't know. I says, okay, so you're just going to spend money and spend time to maybe go after a client that you're not sure if they exist or don't exist. So this is what I would say. First off, whatever market that you're in, or if you're trying to hit multiple markets, even for us, we're in like 7 or 8 different markets, and we have different businesses. Each market has a different type of a person, an avatar. So example, in Fallbrook, my avatar in Fallbrook is Bob. Bob is an older white male. Bob is at least in his 70s, 70 to 75, sometimes in their 80s. Bob was working. And the reason why I keep talking about Bob is because Bob's wife, whatever your belief system is, Bob's wife usually isn't making the decision on what's going to happen with the sale of their home. Bob is making the decision. So I'm focused on Bob. Bob is my client. Bob is an older guy. He's usually a conservative. Bob used to work. He was a blue collar guy that bought a house in a very good area at a cheap price. It's worth a ton of money now. Bob is pretty much retired. Bob is living off of his pension along with Social Security. And Bob is looking to downsize and move to wherever his grandkids are. Bob isn't on social media. Bob didn't find us through social media. Bob actually found us through driving around and seeing our image and our signs and our big picture out on the road. And Bob also reads the newspaper still. Okay, so when I talk about Bob, and I break it down even more, I talk about what's their religion, what's their income, what's their ethnicity, all of it. You need to know this. That creates your avatar and it creates your target client. Now, I know somebody got in a big argument with me recently. They're like, well, how dare you call them a target? You think Coca-Cola doesn't call somebody a target? You think Apple doesn't call somebody a target? Look, you have to create that niche market in order to go after them to get their money. We're in business. You cannot make money unless you take that money from somebody else. And it sounds mean to say it that way, but that's really what's happening. So let me say it in a nicer, more professional way. In order to create an opportunity for somebody so they are going to pay you for your services, you have to provide X. But at the end of the day, and this is what I love about the communities that we're in, we make a good living by taking the money of these people in those communities. That's why we do so much for every community that we're in. We do a lot of community service and we give back to that community because we make a living from them, from that community. But I'm not going to lie about what it is. So in each community or any area or any target market that we're in, we're actually creating our 3 marketing pieces or our 3 things that how we're going to market them based off of that avatar. So first and overall, if I was going to be general, I think it's absolutely insane if a business or a business owner is not on social media. It's absolutely insane. You have to be on social media. In fact, I deeply believe, so right now I have people that are like, well, I only get on Facebook because that's where the money is. You need to be on Instagram. You need to be on Snapchat. You need to be on these other platforms because what I've learned, at least going back to like LimeWire and MySpace and all these other things, all of these systems eventually are going to change, adjust, or die, but they're always going to become the catapult for the next social media system. Social media is not going away. So if you're always engaging with different variations and types of social media, the next platform that's going to be created, that's going to be the next billion-dollar platform that's going to have attention, because I'll say it over and over and over, attention is king. Attention is king. If you understand how those systems work and you're already trying to find ways to manipulate those systems in order to get more attention, to sell more products of whatever it is that you sell, you're going to win. You're always going to win. You're always going to be ahead. Big reason why I started getting into YouTube. Huge reason why I started getting into YouTube. Hold on one second. Looks like Drew had put up some stuff. Says it's definitely them. And then he says, new plan. A day in the life of Kris McCullough, right? Okay. Thanks, Drew.
That's actually one of our questions is what's your everyday like day-to-day life look like? Like what's a day in the life of Kris?
I'm very regimented. I'm extremely violent with my time. So we'll talk about that. Let me finish up. So social media is an absolute must. If I were to generalize, you need to be on social media. If I were to generalize, you need to really start exploring online and so social media is different than online. When you talk about online, I think you need to start exploring how to create different lead funnels and pipelines around specific products or your business through multiple variations of landing pages to connect and touch different types of people. So example, like for me, if I'm selling real estate, I'm not going to put up just one type of real estate website because it's only going to connect with one type of a person. I'm putting up websites that are going to connect with millennials. I'm going to put up websites that are going to touch with Generation Xers. I'm going to put up websites that are going to touch with older people. I'm going to put up different types of landing and squeeze pages that are going to give just information, which is usually for older people, so I can lead capture their information. They don't want to go around and actually explore and engage. I'm going to create stuff on YouTube so they can see video. I'm going to try to, the biggest issue for most most businesses, people don't trust you. So I'm going to be very open about who I am, and I'm going to be a little more vulnerable, which is a big reason why, I dress the way that I dress, and I am who I am. I'm more genuine up front instead of just a stuffy guy in a suit. The world's changed, and this is who I am. And that creates a different, deeper level of trust. So when they are looking at what I'm providing, they're more connected because this is just who I am. And it's easier to work with somebody like that. So A, you got to be on social media. B, you need to create multiple means of content. And content also goes with social media. You have to create multiple means of content online that can connect with multiple types of people if you're trying to create that type of business. And then the last thing that I would say is you need to get really freaking smart. If you were in my office, I read 3 to 5 books per month at a minimum. And I'm always exploring, learning, and usually I'm reading so I can learn just enough to actually hire somebody to do something for me. I just don't want to walk in stupid and get took by that person that's going to create that whatever it is. But online advertising, whether it's Facebook ads, Google, I've really started getting into Google Plus and Pinterest, Facebook ads, Google AdWords, whatever it is. You need to find a way to actually put that content deep in front of somebody and be where their eyeballs are. Okay, so general. So the next question that you gave me was, hold on one second. What is this? Trevor says, I love the way targeting the multi-audience online. Good idea. Thanks, Trevor. You can take that to the bank because I said it. I'm joking, Trevor. I love you. So day in the life of me. My day is extremely regimented. What I'm learning and what I've learned is the people that I really respect that are doing extremely well in multiple businesses. A lot of the people I hang out with that are multimillionaires. What I've learned is that they do a lot of what people would consider menial tasks every day consistently for an extended period of time. And that's really how they make their money. Most people aren't willing to do that. So analogy that I usually use is just like going to the gym. I want to be a bodybuilder. And then you see somebody who's like, I'm going to go hard. I'm going to buy all the supplements and I'm going to eat really good. And I'm going to do all this stuff. And they show up to the gym. They go for 2 weeks and then they quit. And the reason why they quit is they're trying to do a whole lot of everything. And they're reading the new hottest, latest thing that's going to get your pecs ripped, right? Most bodybuilders and most people that compete, they eat a lot of the same meals over and over. Their meal plan is the same meals. Their meal plan has the same amount of protein. Their meal plans revolves around certain types of proteins. Their meal plans revolve around certain types of carbohydrates. Their meal plans revolve around eating at a specific time every day, forever. Their meal plans, it's very regimented. When they go to the gym, it's very regimented. Everything's regimented. And it starts off in the beginning, you just show up, go to the gym every day. And as you just start showing up and you become consistent, so you're doing it, lost them. We'll wait until they come back on. I think this is good stuff I'm passing here, folks. I like the interview. So who else is out there watching? I don't know. It says it keeps revolving around different viewers. Here they go. They're popping back up. Hey, if you're watching, drop some comments on here, folks. You're more welcome to jump in here. All right. So I'll keep going where I left off. Long story short, everything starts with the beginning. Just get to the damn gym, start working out, stay going to the gym every day. By going to the gym every day and being consistent over an extended period of time, you're going to learn things. You're going to be watching other people lifting, so you're going to start learning different routines and regiments and things that maybe you should be doing. You're going to start talking to people and engaging and networking. After you start networking with people, you're going to maybe run into a personal trainer that's going to start taking you to the next level. Eventually, a personal trainer is going to start teaching you about diets. Personal trainer is going to start teaching you about how to compete. And eventually, you're going to start preparing to compete and how to be on a competition schedule. So it's something that you do over time. So what I've learned is that doing good actions consistently over an extended period of time is how you win. So my days are extremely regimented. I wake up at the same time. I do the same actions. So I wake up. I used to be in the Marine Corps for a really long time, so I don't wake up as early as I used to. And I hear people, I'm up at 4:30 and chase and beat the sun. I don't do that. I'm not into that. However, I am up at 6. I'm up at 6 every morning. The first thing I do as I'm rolling out of bed, I stick headphones in. I listen to immediately. Sometimes while I'm laying in bed because I don't want to get out, I immediately listen to something that's positive, whether it's Les Brown, Eric Thomas. I listen to Grant Cardone. I'm listening to something positive, something that's going to fill me up and get me moving, get me motivated. Tony Robbins, you know, Anthony Robbins. I love Zig Ziglar in the morning. He really gets me going. So I listen to something as I'm getting up. I stretch a little bit. I go brush my teeth, and I'm listening to something immediately right away. I start getting ready. Once I get done listening to something, on my way to work, I pop in something that's going to be business related. Every day I listen to a minimum of 2 hours of something that is going to be beneficial to my business. It could be something in my business. It could be something dealing with marketing. It could be dealing with something with social media. It could be dealing with something with direct mail. It doesn't matter. Whatever I feel like I need to really get information on. And this is what's beautiful about today. We're surrounded by information, but nobody wants to take time to just listen to it. Or sometimes I'll actually listen to an audiobook, because I told you I physically read 3 to 5 books a month, but I also listen to 2 to 3 books per month. So that's when I listen to my books, about 2 hours. So on my way to work, I'm listening to something. Once I get to work, the very first thing I do, which I'll show you, I do it every day. I start my day by writing out my to-do list every day. I write out exactly what I'm going to do. At the very top of my to-do list, I write out my goals and what I want to accomplish. Why am I doing this? And so I write, what do I accomplish my goal? I also write my why. Why am I doing this? This is insane. Being an entrepreneur is horrible, and it's exciting, and it's wonderful. It is one of the most amazing, crappy things you could ever do to yourself, in my opinion. So I write out, what am I going to, why am I doing this? And what are my goals? Then I write out my to-do list. I rewrite my to-do list every day. Then I go through, and I don't know if you can see it. I pick 3 over here. I pick 3 things that I'm going to do, and I'm not going home until I do those 3 things. I'm not going home. But that's not in my first time blocks. I time block everything. And so I have 30 minutes to do that, and 30 minutes to educate myself, do my to-do list. Once I'm done with my to-do list, I have 2 hours of cold calling. I'm going to cold call for 2 hours. After my 2 hours of cold calling, I'm going to do 1 hour of follow-up calls. After my 1 hour of follow-up calls, I'm going to roll right into doing direct mail. And usually it's really coordinating. I have, you know, people here that are doing tasks for me. Where are we at? What's going on? What are our numbers? What's going out? What are our returns? And this is all in between all this stuff. After I'm doing that, I'm doing my social media. I'm prepping for my open houses. After that, I take a quick break. Right after that, I'm doing client calls, and I just keep going. I have an exact regimented routine. Now, I do leave free time. So I go hard from about 7:30 until around noon, no later than 1 o'clock. Then I have open time. That's my open space. I'm either doing admin, I'm either following up with projects, or I'm creating new projects for new revenue streams, or I'm going on appointments. That's my appointment time. So I always tell everybody 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 6 o'clock. That's when I do appointments. If I don't have an appointment, I'm running. I usually try to finish up by 5 o'clock, and that's when I start my reading time. I sit down, and I focus on reading. At 5 o'clock, I'm looking to scramble. I force myself. So I never fill up my gas tank. Some people, they fill up the gas tank every time they go. I like filling up my gas tank as many times as possible during the week, because it gives me an opportunity to meet people. Last night I was hanging out, meeting a friend, and I got 2 listings last night just by standing there and talking about real estate. So I will talk to anybody. If you're 5 feet from me, I'm excited, I'm passionate, and I'm going to sell your house. And if you don't have a house to sell, I'm going to ask you if you know anybody that does. I'm going to sell their house. So you have to be built that way in real estate. So on my I physically go to the grocery store every day to buy dinner for that night, not because I like it fresh. I don't really care. I'll buy stuff frozen. It's because I'm meeting people. And I go pick up my food. Then I go home. I cook my food. That's my time to unwind. I spend time with my kids. I'm very regimented on when I spend time with my kids. Once I put them to bed, then I roll right back into reading. I even schedule time to spend with my wife. She's in my time block. And she's like, hey, I was wondering if you're not in my time block, baby. I love you, but I can't talk to you right now. I'm busy. She called me earlier and says, I love you. I can't talk to you right now. I'm busy. Is it important? No? Okay, I'm doing this. Time block. So I time block everything. Every day is regimented. Every day is also going to adjust based off of the things I'm learning. But again, good actions consistently over an extended period of time is what helps people win. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
All right.
Actually, that kind of brought up another question. Michael had told me about the fact that you had served in the Marine Corps. So I was going to ask you, well, first off, I wanted to thank you for your service.
Cheers.
That's pretty. Nobody ever thanks the veterans enough. Also, I just wanted to ask you if any of your skills that you learned in the Marine Corps kind of transferred over. You kind of were going on about this regiment process. Were you always like that? Did it just happen after you joined the Marine Corps? Yes? Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of figured.
Yeah.
Any other skills that you learned in the Marine Corps that kind of transferred over to what you do now?
A ton. And what I would tell you is, I was in the Marine Corps for 21 years, something like that. So even in the Marine Corps, every 4 years, you change, you adjust, you're getting promoted, or you're picking up more skill sets. So I've seen a difference between somebody that's been in the Marine Corps for 4 years and somebody that's been in the Marine Corps for 20 years. You pick up different skills. For me personally, I picked up some major skills as far as coordination, operations, working with people, building a team, running a team, being able to talk to people, communication skills, how to push somebody without being a complete prick, how to find people's deep burning desires and want to be involved and let them feel like they have a form of ownership so they'll actually work harder. I picked up a ton of skills in the Marine Corps, and honestly, I'm still just now starting to tap into all of them. The Marine Corps was very good to me. Before the Marine Corps, I was a hot wreck. I was a mess. It's really paid dividends for me in developing and building a business. And what I found is when I talk to other people I've never served or been in the military, especially younger people, what I consider to be my normal, to be my baseline of life, they can't wrap their head around it. They can't. So like even the six-figure program that I just implemented, the six-figure agent program that I implemented in our brokerage, the simple stuff like showing up at a minimum at 8 o'clock and being outside and waiting and checking in and this and the other, it's a struggle for a lot of people. They struggle with just doing basic things because they've never been held accountable to specific tasks in order to actually accomplish something in their life. I don't think that they're being soft. I just think everybody's conditioned a different way, if that answers your question.
Absolutely. That's great. Yeah. Wow. All right. Hey,
Kelsey, do you have any questions?
Yeah, Kelsey, get on here, Kelsey.
Scoot over. I'll move out.
Oh, first question I wanted to ask. Sorry.
Back a little.
How did you get your idea or concept for your business?
That's an amazing question. I think what our business became is the best way I can answer, and what it's becoming, because we're building other businesses as well right now. If you haven't noticed, I like consuming information. I really, really, really like consuming information. I think not enough people consume information. I think the reason why I like consuming information, my father told me something years ago. There's nothing new under the sun. I think when you give your brain the opportunity to have more information to draw from, it helps you become more creative. And, somebody that's never been in business and has not explored, they come up with an idea, they're almost limited. So example, let me finish my thought, because you guys, we talked earlier, I'm like all over the place usually. They're limited as far as to where their plateau is and how far they can go. So let's talk about Apple. Apple was limited with their original founders, okay? Because what's his name? Steve Markowitz, not Jobs, but it's Markowitz, or anyways, they were limited because he literally plateaued because he only had a certain amount of information and he was unable to create or dream past where he was, right? Most people, they think you just find a dreamer, and those are the people that are the idea guys. I think what creates an idea guy is somebody that's so lost and obsessed with a concept and an idea that they go out there and they consume everything about that idea, and then they try to find a way to either break it and break the rules, or they try to find a way to make it way freaking better. And the only way you could really do that is by consuming a whole lot of information to give your brain, because it's not me, Kris, it's really all this crazy stuff that's happening in here that nobody understands yet, that you're so obsessed with it that the universe finds a way to open itself up to you, and your brain starts finding a way to put all of this information together to create these new concepts, ideas, and thoughts. And then after that, it's implementing it and failing forward. You're literally failing forward often, but never failing. So that's kind of how it works for me. That's how I came up with the idea of where we are and where we're going. It's literally from consuming information and just trying to have a lot of fun with it. And I'm so obsessed with these businesses. We own multiple businesses, and I'm obsessed with it. It's an obsession. It keeps me up at night. I don't sleep much. This is it. I've gotten to a point where I identify myself with this. This is who I am. Same as how I was when I was in the Marine Corps. I am a Marine. You knew I was in the Marine Corps even if I was in the grocery store getting cookies. You could just look at me and says, "I bet that guy's a Marine," because I just exuded it. It was my energy. So yeah, that's how we came up with the idea of what we are and where we're going. It's a unbelievable, sickening. It's a sickness. It's a disease of obsession. Yeah. Does that answer your question, Kelsey?
Yes, thank you very much.
Cheers.
And then, why real estate?
Why real estate? I had already been in real estate as an investor part-time while I was in the Marine Corps, and I just am fascinated by it. It's like it's a constant moving Rubik's Cube. It gives me the anxiety I'm looking for in my life, the highs, the lows. And again, to me, it's a matter of obsession. I think no matter what it is that somebody's interested in, a great example right now, sneakers. Now, sneakers have always been cool, and there's always been people that were selling sneakers, but not at the level that we're seeing now, where they're doing like full blown, like giant, get-togethers. Another example, video games. I mean, when you talk about the stuff that's going on right now, and it is a sport, esports in general. This is awesome. And it's because somebody's so freaking lost and so freaking obsessed with playing video games to become the fastest guy to run through a specific game, to become like that has created an entire industry, a multi-billion-dollar industry, If you can become obsessed with something, you can find a way to create whatever it is you want to do. I'm obsessed with real estate. That's why all the businesses that we've built and that we're building and I'm going to build in the coming years, that's why we're doing it, because I have to do it, man. I don't know. I love it so much. I have to do it. I'm a fanatic. I'm a fanatic about real estate. That's why I'm in it. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Wow. There's just so much there.
Yeah.
What is a new industry that you think is up and coming? I know you talked about esports, but would you consider that an industry? And if not esports, what's another industry that you think is up and coming? And how are you going to take advantage of it if you are?
Esports. Okay, so esports is, for one, to me, it is still in its infancy, and it blows my mind how amazing it is. I'm actually excited for esports. That is going to become like just unbelievably huge. I'm really excited about watching I'm excited about watching startups. I think a lot of the younger generation gets it. It's less about being your granddad's business and trying to get the gold watch after 20 years. It's more about living a specific lifestyle, being true to who you are and what you're about, and really creating, using leverage, whether it's online leverage, whether it's people leverage, whatever it is, leveraging. I think by leveraging, they're creating these amazing freaking startups and businesses, and there's a ton of capital and opportunity that's out there. As far as what I see in the future, I know a lot of people have hit me up and they've asked me my opinions on like Bitcoin, things like that. I am big into stock and all that. I'm not a huge fan of Bitcoin, and it has nothing to do with the fact that Bitcoin, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying that it's doing great. It's just not something that I understand and want to be a part of, because I see the pitfalls of what could come of it. But if I was to look at what the next big up and coming businesses are, whatever, this is, so you have to keep in mind, I was of a generation where if you owned a computer, you were an extremely wealthy person. You were wealthy if you owned a computer. We didn't have computers. Everything that you had to learn, if you wanted to consume, that's why I'm so engaged in it personally. If you wanted to learn how to build a business, you had to go to college. If you wanted to learn how to build a business, you had to go to the library, or you had to get the Encyclopedia Britannica. Information was not available. Information was not free, and you literally had to go to somebody that already was in whatever you were doing to try to hopefully learn, by basically being their slave for a long time, to hopefully learn what they were doing, so eventually you could create what you wanted. That's not real anymore. I think if anybody, whoever wants to create whatever they want to create, if you can find a way to help people get what they're looking for and connect genuinely with as many people as possible. So example, influencers. I'm so fascinated. I was on Instagram earlier, and I was looking at this one Instagram feed, and I'm like, how do you have millions of people following you? And I just couldn't wrap my head around it. And here's the thing, even if I don't like their content, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The fact is that they're engaged with so many people that's all that matters. And that's why I keep saying it over and over and over and over and over. Attention is king. I think even with the real estate business, and I talk about this on the Real Estate Blitz, which is a YouTube channel I have. if you can find a way to capture the attention, you can steal or create, and steal is a key one. You could shut down the entire real estate industry, and people are trying right now, but they're not able to get the attention that they want. And the way that they're trying to get the attention is by undervaluing, by becoming in as the cheaper person. The key is not to be cheaper. The key is to actually show value, connect, engage, and actually create. I'm glad this is like the best word. Everybody that's trying to create an ecosystem, they're the ones that are going to kill it in the future. That is the up and coming business. Create an ecosystem, create something that people can identify with or identify themselves with. I am a this. When people could say, I am a this, that is the next up and coming industry. Yep.
Wow. All right. And then last question, or two, if you don't mind. Two big ones, but it's where do you see yourself in 10 years and what's the legacy you want to live? Or you want to leave behind? What's the legacy you want to leave behind?
Okay, you're going to hate the answer to the second one, but the first one you might like. Okay, so where do I see myself in 10 years? So where I see myself in 10 years, this has always been my goal. I think my big picture goal is going to take me 15 years. My big picture goal, I want to own 3 businesses that are running $100 million net profit to me every year. But my big goal in 10 years, which I'm on my way right now already, in 10 years, I basically want to have 7 or 8 different businesses that all revolve around the real estate industry to where each one feeds itself, if that makes sense. So it's within any real estate transaction, whether it's an investment business or a real estate business, there is a lot of money, whether it's people, the individuals within the industry. So you're talking about, you have contractors, you have handymen, you have title, you have escrow, you have real estate agents, you have a whole bunch of people, carpet people, paint people, even even the products themselves. There are so many freaking products in order to just build a house or to sell a house. I want to have a cut of all of it. I want to own a cut of all of it. And I want a cut of it without doing any of the physical labor. I just want to get 10%, 50%. I don't care. I just want to have a residual incomes off of something that I have a form of control of, but I'm not doing the physical labor. That's how I'm building a lot of the businesses that I'm doing right now. Excuse me. But I want each one hand washes hand. If there's a real estate transaction takes place, money's going into my pocket. That's what I want. So where I see myself in 10 years, I see myself basically doing the same thing I'm doing right now. Can you guys hear me, or am I breaking up?
No, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. I see myself basically, I'll be like Warren Buffett, dude. I don't care if I'm a multi-billionaire or even like a multi-millionaire. I will be at work every day from 7:30 until 5 o'clock because I love doing this and I'm obsessed. But I will be basically, my goal is to create multiple opportunities, multiple businesses, and multiple people that I can touch. I deeply believe the more people that I can serve, the more money I'll make. So that's servicing employees, servicing agents, servicing products, servicing clients. I just like service. I like serving in general. I like serving people. And I just want to serve as many freaking people as I can. And I want our businesses to become a nationwide recognized brand. So that's my goal in the next 10 years. As far as a legacy, I hate to say this, I don't really care. I'm not one of those guys. I know a lot of people believe in that. Maybe because I'm just jaded and I did a lot of years in the Marine Corps. Look, when I go, I go. I'm living right now. I have my own personal religious beliefs, and that's my personal business. And whatever I choose after this life, that's between me and whoever I'm going to go see after that. But as far as what I leave behind, I'm going to be dead. So I don't really get lost on legacy. I know a lot of people are real big on that. I want to create a legacy while I'm living. I want to be a living legacy. So example, I love what Bill Gates is doing. When you look at Khan Academy, I learned, so I used to do a lot of it. I was real big. I used to be a network engineer for like big picture networks, stuff like that in my last career. And developing, I had to learn a ton of math to do what I did. And it was Khan Academy because I wasn't formally educated with math. I sucked at math. But Khan Academy taught me what I had to learn. And amazing. When you look at guys like Elon Musk, that dude, he's trying to go to frickin' Mars. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. And he's creating products that are going to change the world, and he's young. I want to be that guy. I want to be a living legacy. I want to get, if I can, I want to become one of those guys that literally, I don't want to wait until I'm freaking dead to say I left something behind. These guys are just on another level. That's, if I want to leave a legacy, it'll be what's left over. It's going to be the wake of what, but I want to be that boat that's tearing apart the water right now. So yeah, I don't believe in that. That's just me.
All right. All right. Hey, do you want but that answer works.
What is this?
And for your honesty. So
so here it is. I own a construction business, nothing but big, but do you think I can merge that into my real estate business and brand that with my real estate? Dude, Trevor, abso-freaking-lutely. Absolutely, you could. Dude, Trevor, hit me up. I'll give you my cell phone. I think you already have it, bud. Give me a call on my cell phone, and I will spin your head right off of your neck, telling you how I think you should merge your construction business to your real estate business. Absolutely, man. We've already done it here. And actually, I'm looking to either get my license or partner and create a construction business based off of some product ideas that I'm already implementing, that I've already implemented right now into our business. Yeah, man, absolutely. I'm sorry. Go on, Michael. I like taking questions when people put them up.
Nope, absolutely. Well, I think that's all the questions we had for now. We thank you so much for doing this interview. We really appreciate it. Thank you for all the insight. Gianfranco, if you want to get in real quick and just
thank you for your service too. Don't forget that one.
Thanks, man. Well, hopefully you all get an A. I don't know if this is good for your school project out there. But if your teacher doesn't like them, I don't know if you're going to let your teacher see this, so I won't say anything mean. But look, here's the camera. Hey, they deserve an A. Stop holding out. Just give it to them. It's not going to change your paycheck. You're not getting paid any more or any less to not give them an A. Just give them an A. Stop being stuck up. They did a good job. All right. So, you guys got anything else for me?
No, I think that's it.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right on. All right. Appreciate y'all. See y'all later. Have a good one. Bye.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later, Kris.